Shea did say that too. He said, we've been learning through wins this season, even though some of those wins didn't feel pretty. He said early on they had great shooters.
The interior, Gonzaga has great perimeter. Miller, effective from three. Strong move to the basket.
Three. Slotting into the starting lineup for Adai Mara. If you tuned in late, Mara's still playing. He's coming off the bench for the first time. Spin moves down low.
Jr. Here comes Michigan. Roddy Gale Jr. on the drive and the finish. Tapped by Lendeborg.
Well, Lendeborg with a great steal.
On the lob. Johnson going to the Borg and Cheddar in there at the same time. Here's Johnson spinning his way in. Lendeborg has already made one. Shot clock down to 10. Atypical Michigan, their third quickest in possession time in the nation. She needs any help getting it right. You turn it over. Cadeau, this building is rocking. Cadeau to Johnson! Zaga in 18-19. They had 7 on the whole season. That's incredible.
Cadeau with 5 assists. Johnson, he's left alone. And
3 of 5 from deep, so they can bring that sort of consistent performance from behind the arc. It's certainly going to do nothing but help Rutgers' cause.
Shooter averaging 13.5 points a game, Tyshawn Archie. Now they drop it inside. Look, Lendeborg rebound. Johnson rebound. Score! And trend of the first half, steal. Lendeborg ahead for Johnson. Slam. Here's Cheddar. Inside for Johnson. 2 more. Shot clock winding down. And a three-point miss by McKinney. So he might have learned a thing or two there, too. Another great pass.
Beautiful shot fake.
We're on the staff together at Florida for 3 seasons. Took a lot of recruiting trips together. Cadeau inside. Elliot Cadeau up in double figures again. 4th time in a row in the first half. Inside to Johnson.
Go sit on the bench, guys. If you miss dunks, you're going to sit.
Case and just cruised into the lane and somewhere else, but he stays right here on this campus.
And he's such what a pass.
Oh, Johnson laid it in.
7 different Wolverines have an assist. There's the dump down again. High-low. And it practically shot that one from the Potomac. And a quick one to Berg. Mara has now checked out of the game, which helps him make that move. There's another one. And Mark. Huge sequence here for the Maryland defense. Cadeau.
It's easy. Yeah. Well, this is what he can do. Bring it up and make decisions. Nice cut for the pass.
Johnson.
He's a good driver.
Hard drive at the same time, right?
Yeah.
Only 3 offensive rebounds for Nova. It's a lob. Johnson on a
transition for this first half. It'll be a big deal. Mara defines Morez Johnson. Transfer from UAB. Inside Morez Johnson, the double.
And if you're Rutgers, good recognition of understanding the shot blocker. Mara wasn't back there, but you've got to take in a hallmark of Rutgers basketball in the Steve Pikiell era is attacking the offensive window. Man.
Immediate timeout coming on the next whistle.
Oh, nice pass.
And the fit over. He might want him to shoot. He'll step through, left it.
And his mates here tonight, but a lot of talent. Johnson drives it, which was exactly the pep talk Bruce Pearl was giving us to pass on to his team. As Johnson needed it, and they're up 32 with the ball. Johnson
possibly defensively, certainly Michigan inside with Johnson and Mara. It's going to be interesting how they defend. How about that extra pass by the big man? Because he was my defensive coordinator, and what did he do coming out of the timeout? He extended his defense because the closer. And now it's 7 to shoot. Kaysen dancing. Williams Adams right with him. They dump it inside, and it's a pretty heavy matchup. Ball screen coverage is normal, Todd. It's got to get in there. Good pass. Johnson just. Lendeborg dumps it inside. Big bodies in there. Morez Johnson, transfer from Illinois. He's got a lot of moves in.
At one point, their field goal attempts were 11 threes to just 2 tries inside of the arc in the beginning of that first half. Strong move from Johnson Jr. And eyes the shot clock there. Double comes. He'll whip it to the corner. Good ball movement. Ball is touched 4 hands here. Squeeze it down low.
Punch play tougher. Back doors, Cadeau. Nice. Good interior.
Johnson to the basket. 10 to shoot for Michigan. Yaxel Lendeboer, down low, Morez Johnson Jr. Leans in, off the wing.
It's Baloo, runs the floor. Nice entry. Look at that high-low.
Well, back into Johnson, who just had the 4th dunk of the night for Michigan. Well, McKinney wraps another one into Johnson. Why would you keep feeding him? That's down to Cadeau again. Looking for runners with him. Leaves it for Johnson. I don't think there's an answer back for that one.
No, not at all. Good pass.
Johnson powers his way in.
Lendeboer, stop and go. Kick to Johnson, the guy who brings it every single day of the year.
Look at Dines and Morez Johnson here. Johnson going to bring the physicality. He's coming right at him.
Tonka truck.
Possessions ago. He's a really good cutter. Has good instincts off the ball. Score that in the lane.
His first points. And Robbie, they need him to be bigger in Big Ten play. Johnson. Great. That's a 10th turnover by USC. No protection.
I know Roddy Gale had a shot block, but I like him in the middle of the zone. 10% last year, he's around 14 this year. But it's not because they're not going. It's because there's so many good guys on this team.
Cadeau gives it back.
Special feeling, Jay, anytime I see us pull out those uniforms.
I got one thing I'm just fire that time by Fredson Cole for McNeese. Wolverines quickly down court again. Corner 3, Burnett.
Connor Runyon with you in Arbor for part 2 of our doubleheader. And Michael Hogue and Warren Marshall for Oakland.
Michael Hogue, their best rebounding guy, and also both those guys have some length.
He probably would have been guarding Morez Johnson Jr. tonight. Good crease off his hands, kept it alive. Morez Johnson on the receiving end. Lendeboer 3, cash.
Very willing to throw what other people might consider low percentage passes. A touch feed that could.
PJ Colosmo is still crying.
I knew you were going there. Cadeau to pull up.
That's 3. Cadeau, and he's whacked by Patterson. You got 3 on 0. Shot clock ticks with 5 on it.
Morez Johnson getting the start and then filling it up with 8 points on his 10-0 run, and he has the rim protection also.
Ready shot, 12 free throws. On the drive, baseline, and coming over.
At the 3, didn't that time. Battle for the board, loose, and blocked it.
Fit as quickly as they fit. I mean,
Wow.
Because Michigan is coming right back at you.
Lendeboer has an all-floor game.
Get lobbed on right back at it. Just excellent execution by the Wolverines. Wow.
Well, he moves his legs on this end of the floor.
Lewis Define down low. That shot 2.
The floor for Rutgers. And gone to the bench. That is an early appearance. Caden Powers, and it's blocked.
Mara, you're going to call him Mara and St. Superi. Here's EK inside him. The opening possession. Cadeau immediately turns it over. You know, Gonzaga's going to try to come out here with force. They want to show better. Nobody saw this coming. Knew they were a good team. They're 7th in the country. But this is a different level right now, what they're doing. Fogel just keeping his dribble.
Being a part of the U of M fraternity and family and an alum is forever. And we're connected by
a turnover. Johnson with a giveaway. Into the hands of DeGorville. He looks up front. It's a
Cadeau not backing down against Loof out high. Now Carter, quick first step against Burnett. Johnson Jr. there.
And TCU swipes it away. Jaden Pierre, block.
Pressure, good feel. And they're not collapsing when the ball goes to that foul line.
He sees over the horizon so well. Johnson on the
any competitive drill that we have or whatever it might be.
Gamble a bit. This is the lineup where you really see strong gap coverage.
Court pressure in this first half.
When you're worried about energy, full court pressure is going to get your bodies going and get you excited. A high scoring game.
On the defensive end of the floor, and his ability to pass the basketball, very impressive.
In his college basketball season, on the push. Double in the corner, and he lost the basket.
Again tomorrow. We have Bruce Pearl joining us at the table.
Look, he can go to the rim a little bit.
See if they do. The help defense from Lendeboard.
Oh,
Marion in his pocket.